apprentice, Sarah-Beth, and she's really proficient at the somatics, and she moves very well. She's a dancer, and she has experience with actually using the somatics to help her. Okay? And so, what I would like to do is start out, well, you always want to start out with the somatics by checking your range of motion. And Sarah-Beth is going to demonstrate that for us. What you want to do is pick a spot in your house where when you turn, you can spot on something, be it the edge of a window or a door frame, a bookshelf, a lamp. It really doesn't matter, but you want to be able to remember where you're standing and when you turn, where you comfortably can look, where your vision goes to. You don't want to be twisting your knees or your ankles or anything like that. I'm going to step out of the frame here and let Sarah-Beth show you that.
So I've got a wall here I'm going to stand right in front of. A window's right behind me. And go back. I reach about just about the middle window right behind me. Same idea. Same spot, both directions, which I know is not what I can usually do. So.
Okay. So as Sarah-Beth is going to lie on her back, I'm going to describe the motions, and she's going to do them so that you can see. Let me just back this up a little bit. There we go. That gives you a better vision of her whole body there. Okay. And you can join us too if you have a yoga mat or you're laying on your bed or whatever. It is good to be on the surface. And I will show you later the adaptations for if you cannot lay on the ground, how to do some of them against a wall or how to do them sitting. So this first one is called a pelvic tilt. And what we want to do is just have Sarah-Beth take a nice big breath in. She's dropping her diaphragm and relaxing her abdominal muscles. And as she exhales, she's going to contract the abdominal muscles and push the back into the floor. You can see how her pelvis just tilts a little bit as she is contracting the abdominal muscles and flattening the back. Now she's going to take another big breath in. Nice deep breath, filling up the lungs all to the bottom and then up into the chest. Okay, and then as she exhales, she's contracting the abdominal muscles and pushing the back flat into the floor again. Now, the nice thing about somatics is you only need to do a few of the movements. These are not exercises. You don't have to do 10 of them. Mostly you need to do between 3 and 5, depending on how you're feeling. And then the next movement that you're going to do is just take your fingertips and place them behind your ears. You're not lacing your fingers behind your head. It's not a sit-up. But what you're going to do is as you're breathing in and doing that pelvic tilt, the little arch forward, you're going to be pressing your elbows into the floor. And as you exhale and contract the abdominal muscles, you're going to come forward and with your elbows going towards each other, you're just going to lift your head and shoulders a little bit off of the floor. And as you inhale again, you're going to come nice and slow with your arms, as slow as you can, in a smooth motion back towards the floor. And then you want to take a nice big breath in again. If you need to take another breath and exhale at this point, that's fine. You don't have to just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can take that breath and get back to a zero space before you start your motion again. And as she's exhaling after pushing her elbows into the floor, just going to bring the head and shoulders up. The elbows are going towards each other. As she's exhaling and contracting her muscles, the back is pushed into the floor. And as you're thinking, where is the floor? Where is the floor? It's a mental thing. You want to not just flop your arms back onto the floor. You're actually seeking that sensation with the back of your arms. Okay. And one more time, we'll go ahead and let Sarah-Beth do another call this one butterfly arms, I guess. As you're pushing back, everything is in a nice extension. And now we're contracting, everything is in a nice contraction. Her feet are flat on the floor, her knees are pointed toward the ceiling. And as she comes back down, she's going to prepare for the third movement, which is in this instance, maybe one that someone would have a problem with if you have a hard time laying on your chest. I'm going to show you against the wall behind her as she is doing the motion on the floor. This is the one where you roll over onto your chest. And so if you have a hard time rolling onto your chest, am I in the frame?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I'll just be putting my hand against the wall. My right hand is on the wall. My left foot is on the ground, planted very nicely. So what Sarah-Beth would be doing is taking her right hand, the back of her right hand, on the left cheek of her face. Okay. She is going to be raising her opposite leg, which is the left leg, with her leg very straight. She's not bending her knee. Her heel is pointed toward the ceiling, so her foot is in flexion. And at the same time as she's breathing in, she is raising the foot and the arm at the same time, the opposite arm. And as she is going up, she is facing her eyes toward the ceiling where her elbow is going. Okay? And as she exhales, she's coming back down. Now I'm going to do that motion for you against the wall so that you can see it. And since this is a good angle for you to see, I'm going to do it here. So in the same way she was doing that, I'm going to be doing it, but against the wall. Okay? So you just lean forward a little bit. Okay? And we're going to take that nice big breath in. And then exhale, moving very slowly back into the neutral position. I'm going to do it this way again so that you can see it, but Sarah-Beth really doesn't need to do it like 3-4 times. It just takes a couple of times to get that cross-body motion going again. Okay, so nice big breath in. Feeling the arch in the lower back as you breathe in, and as you exhale, coming back to the neutral position. And we're going to do it on the other side. So you're going to want to take your left hand, the back of your left hand, to the right side of your face on your cheek. And you're going to be lifting the left elbow towards the ceiling at the same time as you're keeping your right leg straight and the heel is going towards the ceiling. Okay, and that's as we're breathing in. So everybody get ready. Nice big breath in. And raise the elbow and the heel at the same time, letting your eyes track to where your elbow is going, and then very nice and slowly come back down into the neutral position. Sometimes you have to take a nice big breath in between. And then one more. Coming back down. And then as easily as you can, go ahead and roll back over onto your back. And this time you're going to be doing kind of a combination of the butterfly move. You're just going to take one of your hands, and she is choosing her left, fingertips behind her left ear. With her knees pointed toward the ceiling, her feet flat on the ground, she's going to grab her right knee, okay? And while she's breathing in and letting the left elbow press against the floor, the tilt in the pelvis is going to cause a little bit of a tug on the right hand. Now relax your foot. Let your foot dangle there. There you go. Okay? And go ahead and as you're exhaling, you're contracting the abdominal muscles and letting the left elbow come towards the right knee. Not like a crunch or a sit-up, but just that motion coming toward the opposite knee. Okay, and once again, as your elbow is coming back towards the ground, relax the foot, relax your hand as much as possible. And as you're breathing in, let the elbow press into the floor. The pelvis is kind of twisting a little bit. You'll feel that twist onto the hand as you're breathing in and it's coming forward. And as you're exhaling, contract the abdominal muscles. Feel that you're going into kind of like a little twist of a half little crunch coming over with the left elbow pointing towards the right knee. And then we can change that with the right hand behind the left ear, the fingertips behind the left ear, the left hand grabbing the left knee. And as you are breathing in, feel the arch in the lower back. As you're breathing out, you're going to contract the abdominal muscles and have that elbow come toward the opposite knee. These motions are very slow. The slower you can do them, the better. Because your intention, your brain is thinking, where is the wall? Now, I'm doing the standing portion. She's doing the laying down portion. If I'm transferring these over to the wall, this would be the pelvic tilt against the wall. Same thing. Okay, we're just transferring it to a different standing position. This would be with the arching of the back and the coming forward this way. We don't have actually the bent knees like Sarah-Beth does on the floor, but it's still effective in changing your range of motion. Okay? And so now we're going to the full spinal twist. This is really nice. You just want to push your arms out to the side. Your knees are pointed toward the ceiling. Your feet are flat on the floor. This one, you want to kind of keep your knees together and your feet together because we're going to be starting the principle of letting the knees go one way while the nose goes the other way. So anytime in somatics when the knees are going one way, the nose will be going the other way, which is creating a full spinal twist. In order to achieve this also, the arms, one is going to be rolling down. Your left arm is going to be rolling down. Your right arm is going to be rolling up. So the hand, you're going to have the blade of the pinky finger on the right hand facing the ceiling, and the blade of the left hand is also going to be facing the ceiling, but they are going to be pointing in opposite directions. The hand that is rolling up, turn your face toward the hand that is rolling up. Let your knees drop toward the hand that's rolling down. Okay? And as you're doing this motion, if you haven't learned the breathing yet, please go to the Introduction to Somatics breathing because this is the first time that we're going to use the ocean breathing. As she's extending her body, rolling her one hand down, the knee is going toward the hand rolling down. Her face is going toward the hand that's rolling up. In this extended position, she is taking a nice deep breath. She is filling her lungs, and as she is getting out of this position, she is pushing the air out all at once, contracting the abdominal muscles, which are pushing the back into the floor, naturally just popping up the knees. There's no way that she can get into this position and not use her breath to get out of it, or she'll hurt herself. So here we see that nice deep breath coming in, and I'm going to take that breath for her so that you can hear what's actually happening in the ocean. Here we go. There we go. And that's a nice full spinal twist. Okay, and as she comes to the center this time, we're going to start working on the pelvic area. Now we've done all the spine. Now we're going to start working on the hips. So in the same position with the knees toward the ceiling, the feet flat on the ground, she's just going to slowly let the knees fall open. And as she does this, the pads of the feet will naturally come together. And as she's in this extended position, once again, she's going to use that ocean breathing. Here she's extending her pelvis, and as she is breathing out all at once, those muscles are going to pop the pelvis up. So you can see when she gets into the extended position and she does the initial breathing, it just kind of pulls the legs in a little bit. That's the ligaments coming this way, and then the muscles will overtake that part. Now, a lot of you who are doing this for the first time might feel a herky-jerky kind of movement. Nothing is really controlled. You know, what we want to go for is a very nice, smooth opening and a very nice and smooth closing. Okay? And so you could do that, 5, 7 times, however many. It's just so nice because I know that the movement is coming back. All right. And then we want to have you walk your feet, just kind of slide your feet open so that it's about with the shoulders or a little bit beyond the shoulders if you have a lot of flexibility. This is a time to mention that if you are hypermobile, if you have too flexible of joints, what do they call that? Double jointedness. These are contraindicated for you to do because you're already kind of in a large rotation. We don't want to make you like an owl in 360 rotation like that. So, okay, now we have Sarah-Beth in this position. I'm going to come to the head of where she is because this is much better demonstrated in this position here. So we see that what we're going to do now is have her drop both knees are going to fall towards each other. And this is when you're breathing in. Okay, so see how when she breathes in, the knees naturally come towards each other again. And as she is exhaling, the knees naturally pop open. Okay, and as she's breathing in and the pelvis is going forward, the knees naturally come towards each other. And as she's breathing out and contracting her abdominal muscles at the same time, pressing that back into the floor, the pelvis is tilting, naturally bringing those knees up. This is when we're addressing the ligaments that are within the pelvis. It's like when we were talking earlier about, the proprioceptors, how do I massage those? Those are very deep. So what we're having to do is move the bones in order to move the ligaments to get them to relax. It's like, whoever does this? Nobody does this. We have to remind ourselves all of the ways that our bodies can move so that they will turn off. Okay, and so now, because we have a lot of movement in the pelvis, we want to isolate the pelvis. You see that Sarah-Beth has one knee pointed toward the ceiling, while the other one is kind of in the same position as it was. And what we're going to do this time is, as she breathes in, we're going to let one knee, the right knee, fall towards the center, while the left knee stays pointed towards the ceiling. And there you can really see her right hip pop up. There we go. So that she's just like getting a nice stretch into there. The psoas, all those really deep muscles within the pelvis are just having a chance to relax, reset. Here we are addressing again. Remember to keep your one knee pointed towards the ceiling as the other knee falls towards the center. As you exhale, the pelvis naturally just comes towards the center where it belongs. The pelvis is not a fused bone. Okay. And now she's going to walk her right foot in, have that knee pointed toward the ceiling, walking her left foot out. We're going to let the left knee fall towards the center as you take that nice breath in, letting the back arch, keeping the right knee pointed toward the ceiling. And as you breathe out, you're going to push that back into the floor, contracting the abdominal muscles, and you feel naturally just how that leg pulls into a neutral position. Nice slow motions going towards the center. Very nice. Okay. All right. And now, after she gets done with this set, now we're going to have her lay with her legs flat on the ground. Everything is flat. Everything is flat. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to imagine ourselves at a pond, and you're not able to use your hands, but you're really thirsty and you like want to cup some water. And so what you're going to do is you're going to cup your arch of your foot. There you go. And as you're coming up this way, oh, but guess what? Your knee's going to the left, so you want your nose to go to the right. You want your head to turn to the right because you really don't want to drink water out of your foot. Okay, it's just like, oh, that was good, but it's not a good idea. For some of you, if this is a motion that is difficult, you can kind of drag your foot along the ground, stabilizing your leg for a minute. When we're looking at Sarah-Beth, she's doing it at the end point of being able to do these motions. If you're struggling, there are small adaptations. You can actually drag your foot along the ground or along your leg, your opposite leg. And the next motion we're going to do after, go ahead and do that one. See, you don't really have to do very many of these. You know, with the right knee pointed out, your foot is dragging up the opposite leg until it gets to about the knee, and then you're turning your face in the opposite direction. Now, this is going to be the opposite of what we're doing. We're going to take the left foot and drag along until we get to about the knee, and then we're going to let the knee fall over the other leg. The nose is going in the opposite direction, and the blade of the foot is going to kind of come up, just pop up to the ceiling a little bit. Okay, and then again, as you're exhaling, you're coming back down. The leg motions are kind of the most confusing, I think, with the breathing, because right now you're breathing out with the foot coming towards the other knee. Now when you're extending and letting the leg fall over, now this is a breathing in. That is an extension. And then as you're coming back, letting the breath bring the pelvis back towards the floor. This is called eversion. We're going to drag the left foot along the floor. When you get to about the knee, you're going to let your leg fall over the other leg. Let your nose go in the opposite direction of your knee, and let the blade of the foot kind of just track up to the ceiling. Okay? That's great. And we'll let her do that on the other side, so we can get that motion down. Again, you're breathing out, and as you go over with the other leg, you're breathing in. Anytime you feel the lower back arching into an extension, that's when you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, you'll just feel your body come back naturally into that neutral position. Now this is so nice. We're just going to do a little X stretch. You're going to go into, let your body all flat on the ground. You're going to let your legs go out and your arms go out, just like a big X. And you want your right arm and your right hand to stretch towards that wall, and your left foot and your left leg to stretch towards that opposite wall. Then you want your right foot to stretch way out that way, and you want your left hand and your left arm to stretch out this way. And you're just feeling a presence in your body of how big you are, how much room you have in there now. Just take a minute to feel that. Okay, and then when you feel ready, you're going to put your feet flat on the floor again with your knees pointed toward the ceiling and your arms out to your side, kind of like the full spinal twist, but this is just like a slalom down a ski slope. As it's going to be nice and fun. You're just going to let your knees drop to the one side, your face is going toward the other. And as you're breathing in, it's just a nice big breath in, and then you breathe out. Now breathe in and let it go over to the other side. And you're breathing in. Go ahead and breathe out, and there you go. It's not so controlled as the full spinal twist. You're not worried about your arms in this particular situation here. And as you're rocking back and forth, what we want to do is come into a sitting position. So as we come into a sitting position, I'm just going to bring this over here so that we can see both Sarah-Beth, and then I'm going to be sitting behind her in the chair. Okay. So as you can see, Sarah-Beth, I hope you can see. Hello. We have commenters. Hello there. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to respond to comments after we're done with the instructional, but I really do appreciate you joining us right now. So we have Sarah-Beth kind of sitting in the 90-90 position with her legs. Okay. And if we could do this, here, I'm going to really show you how she's sitting here. Okay, you see that? And then she has her arms on either side, her hands on either side of, or maybe I should just put it right here. Okay. There we go. Because this is the part that is good for your neck. Okay. And just like we're doing with the somatics, we're trying to trick the body into letting go of its patterns. One of the things that happens is, like, say, oh, hey, Sarah-Beth, and somebody says Sarah-Beth over here, and she's like, what, oh, what's over there? There's a car wreck. You're like, you hear something over here, your eyes are always going towards whatever that sound is. So what we're trying to do in these particular motions are train the eye to go different from where the neck is going. Okay, so in this first one, we're going to be taking a nice big breath in. The eyes are going toward the ceiling, the face is going toward the ceiling. As you breathe out, you're going to arch the back, you're rounding the shoulders, the head is coming down towards the chest, and you're looking towards the chest. Okay, and as you breathe in again, you're going to look towards the ceiling, your face, your eyes, everything is going towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, you're rounding the back, the shoulders are rounding, you're feeling maybe the bottoms of the ischium and the bottom pelvis are trying to touch the floor when you're in this position. And now this next time, I'm going to have Sarah-Beth look up with her eyes as she's looking down with her face to her chest. She's still rounding her shoulders and her back. She's inhaling, and as she is looking up, her eyes are looking down towards the floor. Okay? That you're still going as far as you can with your range of motion with your neck, but your eyes are looking in a different direction. Okay? This can be very difficult for some people to do. Okay? As you're breathing in again, go ahead and looking down. And as you're exhaling and rounding the back and the shoulders, you're looking up. Okay? And now, as we come back to neutral, I'm going to have her grab her left shoulder with her right hand, okay? And we're just gonna do some nice rotations. We're gonna look to the left, and as we look to the left, we're gonna rotate to the left. Our eyes are going to the left, our face is going to the left, the elbow is going to the left. Now, as we go to the right, the elbow is going to the right, the face is going to the right, her eyes are coming around to the right, okay? And we're gonna do that a couple of times, just so that you can get that nice motion. It's a nice spinal twist, okay?
Breathing out.
And now we're breathing out as we're crunching in. And we're breathing in as you feel that extension in the rib cage. Okay, we're coming back down to kind of a neutral position. And now that we've gotten the hang of that, we're going to have Sarah-Beth turn her face in the opposite direction as her elbow is going. Okay, so now her elbow is going to the left, her face is going to the right. She's breathing in. And as she exhales, her face and her elbow are kind of changing places. She's looking to the left, her elbow is coming to the right. And she's breathing in again. The face and the eyes are going the same way, and the elbow is going the opposite way. Okay, now here's where it gets tricky, folks. Right? She's going to take her eyes and have them go the opposite direction of her face. They're going to go towards where she is putting her elbow. So as we are switching, we're switching our eyes, we're switching our face, we're switching our elbow, okay? And this is really undoing a heck of a lot of patterns that keep your neck locked into a certain position. Even if you're at a computer all day long and you're just like looking in one position, if you're driving all day long, this is going to be something that really helps unlock those muscle patterns for you. And then we'll have her switch and go to the opposite direction. She's going to take her left hand and grab her right shoulder. You notice that her right hand is kind of planted on the side of her leg. If you're unable to do these in a seated position like this, you can go to the edge of your bed. I think that that's a really great place to do it. You can sit in a chair like this. It's all about just getting that rotation in. And mostly this is for the upper shoulders and the neck. So here she is turning to the right. She's having a nice big breath in. Her face, her elbow, her eyes, everything is going the same direction as she is rotating. Okay, nice big breath in. You can feel your ribs just separating as that nice big breath comes in. As she exhales, you can feel just the body kind of crunching together, and the pelvis, the ischium, the little sits bones, that's where when you're exhaling, you want to kind of push those into the ground. That really, this is also helping the kind of the femur, the sockets at the same time. You can really feel it as you're doing that. So now we're going to have her take her face and go the opposite direction of her elbow. She is breathing in. Her elbow is going to the right. Her face is going to the left. As she exhales, her face is going to the right and her elbow is going to the left. Okay, she's going to do that a couple more times, taking that nice big breath in. And as she exhales, you just feel everything kind of crunch up. And now she's going to take her eyes and go opposite that her face is going. Her face is going to the left, her eyes are going to the right, the elbow is going to the left, and the eyes are following where the elbow is going. And that's basically it. The end is the most confusing with the eyes going in the opposite direction and the elbow in the face. But that's it. And now Sarah-Beth can get up and take her range of motion test again and tell us how she did. Let's get back here.
Front of me so I can see.
All right.
Much further.
Much further. So how much
I
rotation?
was here,
Uh-huh.
jumping behind me. Over here.
So about 6 inches
Mm-hmm.
on either way.
So that one might always be the same. This one was definitely much more.
So very good. Very good. It's important to take the test. It's important to take the test. The before test and the after test, because then you can see just how much you improved immediately. These are things that you can do for yourself, you know, as practitioners, as integrative therapists. We can help people out of pain and, you know, give you points to do on your own. But the somatics are one of the things that's just fundamental toward having your rotation, being out of pain. When anybody asks me, Jenna, what do you do? Who massages you? And I'm like, hey, I just do this. I just do this. So anyway, we hope that that was really helpful to you. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you. Thank you so much once again. Aloha. Oh, hi there.